Hey, DJ Hoppa here from the DJCoach.com. Today we are talking about beat matching. Yes, manual beat matching. And in fact, actually, we've got a really awesome feature on this Hercules DJ Control Impulse 300 MK2 controller called the Beat Match Guide. This will be like our little friend to help us train our ears to be able to go through this rite of passage as a DJ to learn how to manually beat match without using the sync button. Okay, before we get started, there's a couple of tips I have. Number one, grab a pair of headphones. Really helpful. And in fact, when it comes to headphones, you want non-noise canceling headphones, and they cannot be Bluetooth headphones. So you can't use like your Apple AirPods, let's say, to use as your cue. So we're gonna need wired headphones. This will reduce the latency. If you use Bluetooth, you'll have latency, and that's just a part of the challenges of using that technology. So we're gonna go ahead and plug in our headphones. And a couple of other tips. What we wanna do with our headphones is we wanna have one ear in and one ear out. Now I know that sounds funny, but I'm not actually gonna put both headphones on. So I'm gonna get my headphones set up, and in this case, I'm gonna get them sort of set up like this, where this ear is in, this ear is out. So I wanna be able to hear the ambient. I wanna be able to hear the music around me. Coming off the monitor or coming off my laptop, I want to be able to hear that. So having one ear in and one ear out is essential. The next thing that I want to walk you through is our body is going to be incredibly important here. So we need to make sure that we're moving to the beat. Which beat are we moving to? We're moving to the beat that's playing. The song that's playing, that's what we're moving to. The song that's coming in, we're listening to in our ear, in just this ear, and I'm trying to line up what I'm hearing in my ear to what my body is moving to. This was a huge secret that I ended up unlocking many years ago. And by the way, when I first started DJing, there were no sync buttons and software and things like that. So you did have to learn how to manually beat match in order to be able to mix songs together effectively. Now we have a sync button, which no shame in using the sync button, but if you have the desire to want to learn to manually beat match, it will give you so much more confidence, so much more control when you're actually DJing. So now that we've got this set up, now I just want to show you one other button. On the controller itself, we have the ability to select what we're listening to. So which side we're listening to. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and turn on this side, my right side. And that's all I'm going to hear in my cue. I'm going to adjust using the headphone volume right here. Now, in terms of tracks that you should use, I highly encourage you to use the same tracks that I'm going to use in this demonstration, but you can use anything that has a really prominent beat. So it's really hard to beat match if there's not a really prominent beat. And what you're trying to look for is try to find two songs that are plus or minus 4 BPM. So if a song is 120 beats per minute, look for something 116 to 124 max to be able to manually beat match with. And that really is a general rule of thumb that I use even when I'm mixing live. So here we go. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna start playing this side. I've got my track playing on this side. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start to bring in my next track here. I'm gonna put this out loud so you can hear it. It's off. I'm also seeing what I need to do. So the moves I need to make here. Now this is lined up temporarily, but look how fast it goes away. It starts to drift pretty quickly here. Now there's a real reason why it's starting to drift so quickly here. The reason is because this is a completely different tempo. The BPM is wrong. So if you look here at this area right here where our tempo align is, you'll notice that the tempo align is also telling me which way to go. It's telling me to move down, which means I need to slow down the tempo. So I want to make sure that I'm slowing down the tempo there. So let's try this again. Let's go back to the top. I'll do this out loud so that you can hear my mistakes. You'll see me as I'm moving this, it's telling me to still move down. Okay, there we go. Now it's good, right? So now when I bring the track in, hopefully this should be on. Okay, it's not on. It's a little bit off. So I'm making my adjustment here. That seemed to fix it. It's still telling me my tempo I need to go down. There we go. We're lined up. This was so painful for me to learn without a beat match guide. The fact that this is here is so awesome. So they're lined up. This is great. Now this is beat matching, but this isn't quite yet mixing. We still need to figure out when we're getting in and out. So this is one part of it, being able to match up the beats, but then there's the next part, which is trying to figure out when do I get in and when do I get out. Now, again, all of this would actually happen inside of the headphone. You wouldn't hear this out loud. So I would take my volume down. So let me show you what that looks like. Let me go back to the top. All right, so if I were to mix this song in, I'm gonna hear this in my cue, but you can't hear this. You can see this. You can see the adjustment I'm making. I'm hearing this, and it sounds good in my headphones. Then I can bring it up. One more thing about beat matching. Even if you had two tracks that are the exact same tempo, or maybe you've even hit sync to make them the same tempo, it still doesn't mean that you might not need to nudge something forward. Maybe it came in a little bit off and you need to nudge it forward or be able to pull it back a little bit. So you would use the beat align feature just the same, even if the tracks were the same tempo. I'll show you what I'm talking about. These two tracks are the exact same tempo. And let's say I'm just gonna bring it in here at a random place. So I brought that in, I was a little bit slow, and you'll see the beat align is telling me I need to nudge forward a little bit. There we go. Now it's fixed. Well, there you go. We got it all mixed in. Awesome. So you can use the sync button if you want to, but it's way more fun to be able to manually beat match. You're gonna gain so much more confidence and more control over your mix in doing this. And at some point in time, when you're ready for it, you can actually turn off the beat match guide if you want. So you just have to hit this button here in the center, you turn that off, and now the beat match guide is off. And now it's just up to you and your ears to be able to mix. So think of the beat match guide as the step between just using the sync button and actually being able to fully train your ears and not needing any sort of guide. The beat match guide is there to help you get from here to there. And I'm here to help you get from here to there as well. I'll see you guys on the next one.